All right, big announcement. You've been wondering, what am I going to do with my book, Reframe Your Brain, that was canceled before it was published? Most of you know I got canceled. So my book was in limbo. I got the rights back. And letting you know today that I'm working with Joshua Lysek, and he is helping me edit the book, and he's amazing. Best editor I've ever worked with. He's actually editing things that another editor had already seen, and it's a lot better when he's done with it. So we're working on that together. He's going to help me. He used the word, quote, ghost publishing. So the writing is mine. Most of his business is ghostwriting, but the writing is mine. He is editing it for me, with me, and we will effectively self-publish, but he's going to help me with that process. So it should be available in at least a few of the places you buy books. We'll try to get it on Amazon and wherever else it makes sense. And bullet points, yeah. And here's the question I have to ask. I don't know that traditional publishing makes sense for anybody anymore. Why would you use a traditional publisher? It seems to me that their purpose and function has largely gone away. So we'll see. Now, I do think that if you go through a traditional publisher, you will sell more books. You will. But you're going to have a lot of, overhead, and, there's extra expense to that, and, burden, and they can ask you to do things that maybe you don't want to do, and they could pay in advance up front. Right? There's some things they could do. But if you're an established author and you already have an audience, I'm not sure. I think we've reached the point where it doesn't make any sense. Like it was diminishing in importance over time, but it still was the smart play to use a traditional publisher. I feel like this is the crossover year. This feels like the year where, if you have 1 million people on social media following you, you probably don't need much advertising, because you can do more on podcasts and tweeting than you can with a book tour. One of the biggest things that a publisher would do is help you, organize a book tour with book signings and TV appearances on Good Morning America. Do you know how much a TV appearance on Good Morning America is worth for a publisher? What do you think? A good appearance, like a solid hit on Good Morning America, how many books does that sell? None. 0. It doesn't have any marketing value at all. I don't even know why people do it. I used to do it, but then I would watch my Amazon number after I went on a big morning show, and I'd be like, oh boy, watch this. I just got off that big morning show, one of the biggest shows in the country, one of the big 3 networks. Look at my numbers, no difference. They didn't even fluctuate. But I do a podcast, say a Tim Ferriss podcast or a James Altucher podcast, and you can watch your number just go as soon as the podcast comes out. Yeah. So all of the old ways which the publishers used, I just don't know that they make any sense anymore. Yeah, Joe Rogan. If you go on Joe Rogan, you're going to sell some books. That's real. But Good Morning America, no books. All right, so watch that.